Hello everyone, so this is a tutorial to install Oracle 19c on macOS using Docker. So the first step is to download the zip file. So I will put the link in the description, so you can copy the link and then paste it, and it will be redirected to this page. So you click on this and you need to sign in first, then you can download the zip file. So I already downloaded the zip file. This is around 2.4 GB. So once you download this, the next step is to build the Docker image. So to do that, there's an official script from Docker GitHub. So you can go to this repo, okay, and then you can just clone this repository. So I'll put it in my desktop. Clone. Okay, and then you go inside the repository, and if you open it in the file manager, you will see the Oracle database. So go inside the Oracle database, and then you need to go inside SingleInstance and then dockerfiles. So here you will see different versions. The one that we are using is 19c. So you can choose the 19.3 here, and you will see there's a lot of build scripts. So this one will build the Docker image for you. Okay, so what we will do is we will copy our zip file just now, and then we put it inside the 19.3. So it's here. So once you do that, you need to go back to this page, and then you need to run this script. So we'll just use this command line, cd into the path, so do ls, then you see the script. So just run the script. So basically you're specifying the version 19.3, and that's it. So if you run this, it will take a while. It's building the Docker image. So if I open the Docker, there are no images or volumes or containers. Once this build process is done, you'll see an image over here. So we'll pause the video first. So we'll continue after the image is built. Okay, so the image is already built. So as you can see, the image is built, and then we can just run this image. Okay, so we can go here. I'm sure you can open the documents, and you can see there's a empty folder. So what we are going to do is we are going to run this image using this Oracle Database 19.3, and then we are going to use this mounting thing. This is for volumes. So this opt Oracle oradata is inside the container, and then this will be our path on the local machine. Documents, options, Oracle oradata. So whatever files inside this container will be also visible here in this path. And then there's a environment variables. So we put the E, and also there's a port forwarding. So this one is inside the Docker container, so it's running in 1521. So outside also we want to link it to 1521. So we just copy this entire thing, and then we paste it here. Okay, so now as you can see, so if I open this, you see there's a image, and then there's also a container. So this container is running at 1521. Okay, so if I open this, under the logs you'll see the individual steps. So right now it's copying the database files. So if I go to the files, right, so under options, Oracle oradata, so you'll see all those files under this oradata. So if I open the documents, also the same thing. See? So whatever data is being populated here, it will be also here. It's the same thing. So right now you have the orcl. So here also we have the orcl and all these different files. So because it's directly mounted. So we just have to wait for a while until this entire process completes. And then we can just use the SQL developer to continue with our migration and stuff. So we'll pause the video for a while. Okay, so the database is already installed. So it's ready to use. So the next step is actually to open SQL developer. Then we can go here, create a new connection. Then you can name it as sysdba. The username is sys as sysdba. Then the password is the one that we assigned just now. Oracle home user 1. Save password, service name, Oracle PDB1 test. So the success. Then we can save this, connect. If I open this, tables, these are all system tables. So on a normal project, if we use this sysdba as our username, we will have a lot of privilege, which is very dangerous. So instead of sys, if I let's say use system, right? So I will have less privileges. You can actually check the users. If I save this, connect, tables, I will have less tables compared to sysdba. There are also other users. If I open this, you can see there's a sys backup, all these different users. You can try to log in as this user or the sys. Okay, we cannot log in. I think we can just stick with sys as sysdba, test, save, connect. Okay, so the next step is to create a local user. So if I go into here and if I do, okay, if I do this, I copy this, and then if I paste this here, I can run this and then I will create a local user, because right now we don't have local user. Okay, so we can actually go here and then create manually as well using the user interface, and then grant the roles and then system privileges and so on. But we'll use this as a starting point. Maybe we can delete this and then run and then refresh. Okay, there's a local user. So I can go and create a new connection for this local user, and then I can check the tables. Okay, test, save, connect. So for now there are no tables. Okay, no tables. I have a project over here. I can try to use this local user and same credentials, and then if I run the cedar migration, then I refresh this, you will see there are tables from this project. So if I go into users, you'll see there are a couple of users. So this is how you run migrations. But let's say you have 2 or 3 projects. Instead of creating 3 different containers like this is the first project, and then you create a second one and third one, you can actually use the same container and then create a different user. So it's the same thing. because if you create a different user with the same container, your memory usage will be much more efficient, because each of this container is consuming a lot of memory, right? If I click on show charts, you'll see there's a lot of memory and CPU usage. So imagine you have 3 containers separately. There will be a lot of memory usage. So what you can do is you can create the second user, and you can just run this again, and if you refresh, you'll see the local user 2. So you can just create a new connection, local user 2, save, connect. So again, the local user 2 has no tables. Even if I refresh, rerun this header, still won't have any tables, because you're using the first username, right? So okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this as local user 2 and then run the header. So now if I refresh here, the data is still the same, because this is local user 1. Then if I refresh and open the users, this is local user 2. Okay, so the data is different. Even though the table name is exactly the same, it's from different users. So you can actually run many different projects using the same container, because it's using different scheme. So yeah, this is one advantage of using this different users. And also you can give different privileges. So in our case, we only give like few important privileges. There are a lot of more sophisticated privileges. You can also like give them privilege to add user or something like that. So if I copy this, and then if I try to paste this in one of this user instead of the sysdba, I cannot create a user. Let's say I try to create local user 3. I can't do that, because I don't have permission to create users. So if I do 3, okay, if I try to run this, say insufficient privilege, because this local user doesn't have the privilege to run this, but the sysdba can. The local user 2 also cannot, doesn't have the privilege. Yeah, so the only person who can run this is the sysdba, or if you assign a new privilege to this user, then you can do that. So I think that's all for this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So I'll post more videos in future. Thank you for watching, guys.